Start one. Good afternoon. My name is James Colligan, and I just wanted to talk to you today a little bit about the HealthWell Foundation grants that are available to the SLOS community and how they work, how I can help you with them, and hopefully any questions that you have, you can always feel free to reach out and let me know. As far as an agenda goes, we'll have a quick introduction. I'll give you an overview of the HealthWell Foundation, how their grants work. Specifically, the grant that is available for this community, and a little bit about my company and the role that we play in helping it be as easy as possible for the patient population to get all the benefits of the grant. As I said, my name is James Colligan. I'm the founder of CF Nutritional Support. I have over 20 plus years of experience in rare disease, mostly in cystic fibrosis. First job out of college was with a pharmaceutical company in the gastrointestinal and CF arena. I've worked in a specialty pharmacy, again, dealing a lot with cystic fibrosis. And about 5 years ago, I started this company specifically to help patients access the grants that were available to them by the HealthWell Foundation, because although they are a tremendous resource for patients, there's many things as far as paperwork and putting money up and things that make it difficult for people to fully utilize these grants. And the whole mission of the company is to help patients utilize these grants properly. Currently, the company services over 3,000 patients with their HealthWell grants, and now we're just starting to help people with SLOS and Alagille syndrome and some other disease states get the help that they need as well as far as these grants go. One specific note that I would like to make before starting is that I do not work for the HealthWell Foundation. So because I speak very freely on it and know it extremely well, some people assume that I do work for the foundation. I just want to make it clear that I do not. But my company does have a portal through the foundation where all my patients are located, and I bill directly through this portal and have a very good working relationship with the foundation. So I'm going to go through some of the slides that the HealthWell Foundation provided to the group to kind of explain the foundation and how the grants work. First off, about the HealthWell Foundation, it is an independent 501c3 national nonprofit based in Maryland. It was established in 2003 to improve patient access to life-changing medical treatments. And in 2024, they assisted over 300,000 patients with grants. These grants can go across many different disease states. Some specifically help copay reimbursement for medications. Some deal specifically with copayments that you may have through an insurance company or premiums through an insurance company. And as far as the grants that we'll talk about for the SLO community, they're specifically for vitamins and supplements that will help you or your child thrive with their disease and help some of the financial burden that you may be encouraging. So this is a look at the HealthWell website, specifically the homepage here. They have circled the disease funds. That's where you can see many of the different funds that are available to patients in the United States. And this is specifically the Inborn Metabolic or Genetic Bile Acid Deficiency Vitamins and Supplements Fund. So you can see the status is open. Sometimes when these funds lose out on funding, or the funding that has been allotted throughout the course of the year dries up or is completely utilized, you'll see that it is closed. So this is a grant that is currently open. The level that is awarded is $1,000 per patient. And the household income, which we'll go over a little bit, is 500% of the federal poverty line based on the number of people in the household. A prescription card is given out, and as you can see on the right, they have a list of treatments that are covered. So you can scroll down on this and see this complete list, but there's cholesterol supplementation and different things that you can have covered to help in your therapy. If a patient is utilizing this, you go to the store and you get eggs or another approved item and you want to get reimbursed for the money that you put out, the form here on the right is something that you can find on the HealthWell website under Patients, under Forms, where you can fill out this information and get reimbursed for those costs that you've incurred. with any of the approved items that you do. I'll talk a little bit about what I try to do is actually do this work for you so you don't have to do it as well. But for people that are spending money at a local grocery store or specifically getting items through a pharmacy that are medical foods and need to get reimbursed for copays or any out-of-pocket costs, this form on the right is something that you can find on the HealthWell Foundation. You fill it out, you can email it in, you can fax it in, and get reimbursed for those costs. So we'll quickly go through how to apply. There's an application process. There's a couple bits of information that you're going to need to provide to the HealthWell Foundation because this is an income-based grant. They do run a check on income based off of Social Security numbers for the household. So you want to have your demographic information, if you have a cell phone number, your email address, where you live, your health insurance, Medicaid, if you have commercial insurance, all that information together, Medicare. Your provider information, so the doctor that you're seeing specifically that will make recommendations on these items. Your Social Security or tax ID number. So this is this grant, you do need a Social Security number for the person that is getting awarded the grant. And the medication and disease state name specifically for this grant because it is fairly new. Sometimes they'll ask for diagnosis verifications where you're going to have your doctor fill out the diagnosis code for HealthWell to know that you are specifically approved for this type of grant. So that's all the type of information that you would like to have before applying for the grant. So the grant process. Again, you have to have some form of insurance coverage. This is standard across the board with HealthWell. With vitamins and supplements, because many of them are over the counter, it's not as important of a piece of information that you do have to provide, but we do provide it. Household income within 500% of the federal poverty line, which we'll have a chart coming up that will show what that means for individual households, but it is actually a very generous threshold to meet for people to qualify for the grant. You want to be using something that is on this formulary before applying for the grant, so you're not taking up funds that you won't be utilizing. But if there is something that you specifically need or find really beneficial, your doctor, dietitian, nurse finds really beneficial for your care, there is a process of being able to apply to have that added to the formulary. And you do have to live, of course, I know there's people from around the world that might be watching this. You do have to live within the United States or U.S. territories to be considered for this particular grant. So I apologize if anyone from around the world is watching this right now. This is a U.S.-specific grant. So here we do have the federal poverty guidelines for 2025. These are updated on an annual basis. They usually update the website around February or March, right before people do their taxes. But the important column that you want to see here is the 500% level for the contiguous 48 states and District of Columbia. And then the number of people in the household. So if you have a child and there's 4 people on the tax return, you get 4 people, you go over to the 500% level, and as long as the family's reported income is under $160,000, you'll qualify for the grant. So it's a very generous grant with a high threshold. If you ever have any questions, you can always ask me about it. Occasionally, the HealthWell Foundation will ask for proof of income, whether that be a Social Security letter or if your most recent tax return, they may ask for that to be uploaded to the system to prove income. But it's a fairly rare occurrence for patients that I help to have to prove income, but it can happen, just so you know. There are 4 ways to apply for the grant. One is through myself. So I help dozens, if not hundreds of patients sign up for the grants, different grants throughout the year. I can renew grants for you all through the portal that I work with the HealthWell Foundation. We can talk on the phone to give the information that I would need that we'd already talked about, Social Security numbers, insurance cards, that type of information. You can text it to me. My cell phone is there. My email address is there as well. So there's actually, in the cystic fibrosis world, there are thousands of CF patients around the United States that have my number and contact me for orders or for help with their grant on a daily basis. So always feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help in these situations. You can go to the HealthWell Foundation website and sign up yourself. So it's healthwellfoundation.org. Sometimes people, and I completely understand, do not want to give me their social security information, and so they would rather sign up directly on the website. If you go to the healthwellfoundation.org and you sign up, you will be given a HealthWell ID once you sign up. And as long as I have that HealthWell ID along with the birth date, I can help you and get access to your grants and reimburse everything. So in order to work with me, you do not have to have me sign you up. All I need is a HealthWell identification number and a birth date. You can also call the HealthWell Foundation, and they're open 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, occasionally off for some national holidays. But I talk to people on the line quite often, and they're extremely nice, extremely helpful, and they can get you all set up with the grants that you need as well. And along with when you go to the website, you can sign up for the patient portal and have your own information. So again, if you're uploading forms to get reimbursed for any of your out-of-pocket costs, you can do that all through the patient portal when you need to get reimbursed. And that is just a continuation off the HealthWell Foundation website. So there's just another kind of reiteration of different ways that you can contact the HealthWell Foundation to get this assistance. They do it all the time, and usually towards the beginning of the year when people have new insurance and some of the grants get new funding, you might have to wait a little while to talk to someone on the phone. Most of the times throughout the year, you call up and you'll be connected to someone within a couple minutes and get everything taken care of. The actual application form or the conversation that you would have with someone on the other line takes minutes and is a very, very easy process. You can apply on the website as well. There are different links that you'll see as you're navigating through the website that say apply. You can also do it under this specific grant as well. And they'll tell you all the different things that you need to do to, in fact, qualify. And then once approved, so you'll know it immediately whether approved or not. And some of the things that may just pop up that may be one extra additional step that would have to be taken care of before your grant is ready to go is they may ask for diagnosis verification, which your doctor would have to fill out to explain that you do in fact have an approved diagnosis code. And you may ask for income verification on a rare occurrence. There are different ways that you can utilize your grant. Pharmacies can use it as a copay card. You'll get a card in the mail a few weeks after signing up for the grant. You can give that to your pharmacist. If you're getting a medical food or something through a DME and there's a copay, not all pharmacies accept this, but if they do, they could bill directly your grant, just like it is a copay card, so you have it. Patients can get reimbursed themselves, or myself and my company can submit all the paperwork for you, and in that instance, I am getting reimbursed for the products that I sent to your home. The approval goes for 1 year from when you applied. Usually, if it's your first time applying, the grants go back 30 days. So today is June 20th. If I applied for the grant today, it usually would have a start date of May 21st and go for 1 year for that $1,000. So it's not a January to December 31st type of grant. It's a 1-year calendar from application when you're doing it. And you can reapply as long as the grant is open as you need for life. So some information here about submitting claims. As we talked about, there's an electronic submission that a pharmacy could do and using your information like a copay card. The portal we talked about a little bit where you fill out that reimbursement form, you take your invoice or you take your receipt from a supermarket or from a website where you purchase the product, Amazon, Walmart, things like that. Take those receipts and put it with the form, and you can upload it directly on the portal. You may fax it in directly to the HealthWell Foundation, and you can mail it to the HealthWell Foundation. Typically, depending on the time of year, you could get reimbursed anywhere from as quickly as, I would say, 10 days to 14 days. Sometimes when it's a little busier in the beginning of the year, it may take a few weeks before you get reimbursed for the cost that you outlaid. So My company, I set up in 2020. I was at a specialty pharmacy in New York and dealing with the cystic fibrosis population, and I was hearing from a lot of patient families, doctors, and dietitians that, yeah, the HealthWell Foundation is great, but sometimes it's a lot to ask for my patients to A, sign up, B, fill out the forms, C, financially be able to afford maybe a $200 medical food or shake that they really needed and wait that 3 to 5 weeks to get that money reimbursed to them, different things. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to help people that could use the help, and there was no real other pharmacy or organization out there that was processing these paperwork on the patient's behalf in order to help them. So I thought it was a great opportunity to help patients streamline this process and make it as easy as possible, make it as easy for the doctors and the nurses and the dietitians as possible as well. So one important note, there's no cost to patients. So first question is always usually, how do you make any money if you're not charging patients? So I've never accepted $1 from a patient that I have helped, over 3,000. What I do is I work with the manufacturers or the people that I'm purchasing the product from on lower pricing. So if I'm getting reimbursed $1 for a product or a vitamin, let's just say, I will work to try to get that purchasing down to 90 cents. So I'm making the margin on what I'm outlaying versus what I'm getting reimbursed. And the patient never has to worry about any of that stuff behind the scenes, never has to send me money to sign up, to get me to sign you up for the program. Quite honestly, once you are signed up for the program, it is your grant. And if you decide that you want to purchase the products directly on your own and get reimbursed on your own, that's fine as well. There's no obligation to utilize my services. The grant is yours and yours to freely do what you like with it. Many times I have patients that need me to help sign them up for the grant, and then because of the specific nature of what they're utilizing the grant for, that they have to go through a pharmacy, and that's perfectly fine, and the pharmacy uses the grant and as a copay reimbursement, and that's the way it works, and that's perfectly all fine. I'm fully capable of signing patients up for the program. One note that I always want to relay to patients and to families that are signing up is that I do need Social Security information. So I know that can be a delicate subject. I just like to be forthcoming with that. If I am signing up a minor, then I will also need a parent's Social Security number, parent's date of birth, and a parent's legal name. And that is because it is an income-based grant that the foundation is running a quick check on the income related to that family through the Social Security number information. So unfortunately, that is information that I would need. I don't keep it, I don't store it, I just kind of sign you up for the grant and then forget about all that information. And again, if you always want to bypass that step where you don't want to provide your Social Security information, I totally understand. You can sign up for the grant yourself on the HealthWell Foundation website and then just provide me with the HealthWell ID. When diagnosis verifications do come up, I can handle those for you as well. So I usually try to have a communication process with the referring doctor or dietitian or nurse where we communicate just in case anything changes in your care or the care that they want for you, a different vitamin, a different dose, different supplementation. We are able to communicate directly with one another. So basically, I can fill out that diagnosis verification. I can fax it or email it back to your referring center physician. They sign it, we fax it in, and the grant's good to go. So that's one less step that you have to worry about. The way the business works is, say you need cholesterol supplementation or you need a vitamin. I'll go on to an e-commerce website, Amazon, Walmart, or specifically Nature Made or Kate Farms or anywhere that, Cambrook, that you need that product from. I order it. They send it directly to your home, so you don't have to pick it up anywhere. It usually doesn't ship to me. There's very few things that I ship directly on my own, but everything gets sent directly to your home. And then I take care of all the paperwork and the reimbursement on the back end. So again, no family is paying for any of these items up front. I'm paying for them myself and getting reimbursed myself. So you don't have to worry about the paperwork. You don't have to worry about putting any money up or anything like that. I build the grants on their behalf, and you'll still have access to your portal, to your account, so you can see your grants in real time, and you can see how much money is left on the grant, what's been billed under the grant, where it's been billed with the specific pharmacy or company name, that you'll have all that information right at your fingertips if you sign up for the portal. And again, we work with referral centers. If your dietitian wants to change specific things for your care, I'm more than easily able to, change a vitamin D dose or something like that, communicate that with you, and send that out to you so you have it in a few days. Some of the referral forms that I utilize and that we're coming up with, there's a form on the left that hope to get into the hands of many of the referral centers. But if you specifically want a form to give to your doctor to have that conversation about whether this grant is right for you, I can email that to you. I can email that directly to the referral center. They fill that out, and we begin to start the grant process. On the right, this is kind of a new flowing document, but I'm trying to put together a menu for the options that are available under this grant, so it's clear to patients what they can and cannot get. So for instance, Boost Kids Essentials is an approved shake under the grant. Lay out the flavors, the different options. A dietitian or a doctor could say, for little Timmy, we want him to have chocolate, 2 of these a day, fill that out, and then I send these directly to your home so you have enough for a month, 2-month, 3-month supply. And that's basically the information for the HealthWell grant and the services that I can provide to help you utilize the grants. My cell phone number is there, my email address is there, and feel free to always reach out if you have any questions, concerns, anything that I can do to help. I'm always more than happy to help and assist people with this grant, because I know it can be a little confusing and a little tough, but it is a great resource and can help financially with some of the costs associated with these products. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it, and we can talk soon.